You need to keep your crypto safe. Nowadays, hackers and scammers are targeting every crypto wallet that they can find, including yours. But the only way to truly keep your crypto safe is by storing it offline. This is done using a hardware crypto wallet. But the issue with these wallets is that there are so many to choose from. That's why I've collected 5 of the most popular and unique crypto hardware wallets on the market. I've personally set each of them up. I've dug deep into the details online just so I can put this comparison guide together for you. And here's a spoiler, guys. There is no number one crypto wallet. It is so dependent on you and how you trade. But if you stick until the end, I'm going to give you my full hardware wallet comparison spreadsheet so you can really look at the details between each wallet and decide which one is best for your needs. Do not skip over this video because so many crypto traders have been drained of their funds recently. You need to store a majority of your crypto offline ASAP. My name is Vic. I've been in the crypto trenches since 2020. I've worked with brands like Kraken, Exodus, and over 100 more. And safety to me is #1 priority in crypto. And when it comes to hardware wallets, you should not be buying them from any third party. You need to buy these directly from the official website. That's why below in the description, I have the official links to each one of these wallets. They all have affiliate codes, so you are supporting my channel if you also use the link. And some of them actually gave us discounts too with the affiliate codes when I got those set up. So without further ado, let's get right into the very first wallet on our list. And that's going to be the Decent biometric hardware wallet. And this prices in at $139 US. Now this is the hardware wallet right here. I have it, I've set it up. And what I really liked about setting this wallet up was the fact that it was completely done through my mobile device. Decent actually doesn't even have a desktop app. It is 100% mobile and Bluetooth. So if you're a mobile crypto user and you don't really go on the computer too much, which is pretty popular nowadays, that's a huge bonus. Now, when you think of setting up a crypto wallet, usually there is a recovery phrase, a seed phrase integrated into that process. But you will see throughout this video that a lot of brands are trying to get away from that process. Essentially, this is just writing down your seed phrase. So the Decent wallet comes with these personal recovery seed cards where you write down in pen your seed phrase that is provided by your wallet as you're setting it up. This to me feels safe. I like writing down my seed phrase and storing my seed phrase. I want to know that as a more traditional crypto user, I guess. That part of the setup process was pretty seamless. The screen is just going to deliver your seed phrase one word at a time. The one thing that kind of was annoying is that after you write down your seed phrase, you have to actually input each word on the device to verify that you wrote it down properly. I felt like that was a little clunky and a little too hand-holdy, but obviously super secure, making sure that you wrote it down properly. So this little rectangle here in the middle is actually the fingerprint scanner. If I want to access the wallet, I'm going to hit this button on the side here and I'm going to hold it down, and that's going to turn the wallet on for me. And then it's actually asking for my fingerprint. So I'll just like put my fingerprint in here and boom, I am in my wallet. I didn't need my PIN or anything. And now I can actually approve transactions because I've seen videos of people who lose their PIN or forget their PIN. And there's only certain amount of tries on a hardware wallet for your PIN, and it's dependent per hardware wallet. It will actually wipe the contents of the wallet. So if you forget your PIN, you're screwed, but you can't forget your fingerprint. So that's really nice. And it also makes it really easy to just be like, boom, fingerprint on my phone, sign the transaction, and we're off. On the more technical encryption side, Decent uses EAL5+ encryption, which is very strong. However, it's not the highest level encryption available on the market for hardware wallets. Decent also has advanced security features, one of them being an optional passphrase, which acts as a 25th seed word. It's really complicated to go over. Some of the other wallets have it as well, but essentially this adds like a wallet within a wallet, so it's very hard to crack. So this is going to support 4,600 plus assets on 84 plus different blockchains because they're always adding it, doing updates weekly. I think this is very clean. I think that the hardware is nice, but it's a little hollow. Like you can hear, it's not like solid, but it is in pretty good shape. So a lot of these wallet brands do have a backup process. The backup process that Decent is using are these optional cards. I'm not going to get too deep into how these work or the backup process for any other wallet, but they do have these. So if you do go the Decent route, definitely look into the backup cards. And if I was a new crypto user looking for like a traditional wallet, but just made it a little easier to work with on a day-to-day basis, this is a great option. Plus, shout out to Decent, because when I asked them for an affiliate link, they also gave me a $10 off code if you buy it. So through my link below, you can get it for $129 US, which is nice. Next, we have the Trezor Safe 5, which is one of the most popular wallets on the market. This is what I've personally used for about the last year or so before doing all of this research. And the Trezor Safe 5 is priced at $169 USD. So here I have a Trezor Safe 5, very clean. I have the green version, has a USB-C port on the bottom. I ripped off my tamper-proof seal, as you can see on the bottom there. And overall, compared to the Decent, it feels a little more solid, less hollow. These are made with Gorilla Glass too, and they can handle temperatures as low as -20 degrees Celsius up to 60 degrees Celsius. So these are made to last. But I do feel like if I drove my truck over it, this would break. And remember that, because a different wallet later is a different story. Now, setting up the Trezor was very similar to setting up the Decent. The main difference is that the Trezor uses a 20-word seed phrase, where the Decent uses a 24-word seed phrase. This is called a Shamir style seed phrase, which is 20 words. And when we're talking about encryption, Trezor is actually using the highest level of encryption on the market right now, which is EAL6+. And all of Trezor's software is open sourced. So if you are a programmer, you can go and audit this code yourself. And just like Decent, we're going to be using this backup seed phrase card where we write with pen the entire 20-word seed phrase, because we don't want to put a seed phrase on a computer. That's a very important note. We want to do it by hand, so there's no digital footprint in case our computer is compromised, or even our mobile phone. You see a lot of people take screenshots of their seed phrase. I don't recommend doing that. You should always be writing it on one of these if your wallet is seed phrase based. So like I mentioned, the setup of the Trezor was very similar to the setup of Decent, but there are some major differences. So I had to plug the Trezor into my computer, because this is not a mobile first wallet. This is actually a desktop first wallet. So I had to plug it in with a USB into my computer to even get this thing going. Now, one interesting feature Trezor has that I don't see anywhere else is that you can download the app for your desktop, yes, but you can also just continue completely in the browser. You don't even have to download an app on your phone or on your computer. So that's very convenient. It made my setup process just a little more seamless. But it's combated by the downside that this thing is not Bluetooth enabled. So if I have the app on my phone and I have this and I want to do like a Bluetooth transaction, it doesn't matter, bro. You can't do it. You have to actually plug it into the computer, go on your computer, approve the transaction. And I know a lot of people don't like that process. And this is where the individual investor comes into play, because personally, like, I'm using my hardware wallet not on a day-to-day trading base. I'm using it more of like a vault in the background. I put my crypto on it. I keep it away from me. I store it. It's out of sight, out of mind. And then I have software wallets like Phantom and Exodus and all that stuff where I interact on a day-to-day basis. The Trezor is really good for the vault, but if I were to have to use this all the time, it would be a nightmare, because I would have to plug it in, I would have to go on my desktop and then I have to approve it. But Trezor really does lean more into the vault security anyway. Like, their backup is called a Trezor Keep. And it's this metal bar. Sorry, I have like some plastic coming off this already. It's this metal bar. And basically inside of it is this tube where you metal punch your seed phrase into this tube. And this thing is heavy. Like, this weighs a good 2 or 3 pounds. So I love how hardcore this is, because you put your seed phrase onto this thing, you store it anywhere, and like, there could be a nuclear bomb and this thing would probably survive. Another thing that I liked about the Trezor setup was I didn't have to verify every single seed phrase word. I just had to go through a few of them. It was like, what's number 15? And I just picked the word. And what number 10? And I only had to do 3 of these, which was way nicer than having to go through my entire seed phrase and type it out on this little screen. There's also this nice like haptic response when I click a button on the Trezor. It like vibrates really clean. And this also holds thousands and thousands of cryptos on par with what Descent holds. I really hope Trezor makes their next generation Bluetooth enabled, mobile first, because this is exceptionally good as a vault, but on the day-to-day, kind of tough. Next on our list is Tangem, which are taking a completely unique approach to a crypto hardware wallet compared to what we've seen in this video so far. There are some major differences about the Tangem wallet versus Descent and Trezor. So first off, the Tangem wallet are actually just these cards. There is no device. They do not plug in. There's no screen. There's no buttons. It's literally just a card with an NFC chip built inside. And the prices range. Like for 3-card set, which is what I have right here, we're looking at $69.90 USD. 2 cards is $54. And you'll soon understand why buying multiple cards actually makes a lot of sense. So like I mentioned here, I have the 3-card set. These are the cards right here. They are pretty solid. Like these aren't like credit card thickness. I would say this is like 1.5 credit cards, a little more thick than what you're used to. And in the middle of this card is the NFC chip that pairs with your mobile device. So this is a mobile phone first crypto hardware wallet. And setup was actually so easy. I'm talking too easy, because all you need is the mobile app on your phone and you just tap them one by one to set them up and then create backups, which are literally just clones of your original card. So if you lose your original, your clones are going to do the exact same thing. And these cards are encrypted to hold your private key on it. And the encryption doesn't pass over. So when you sign a transaction on your phone's wallet, the private key actually stays on the card. And with these cards, you do not get a seed phrase. You never even know what your seed phrase is, which for a crypto beginner might be really nice because it's just seamless. It's smooth. You get the app, you get your card, you tap it, you follow the instructions, easy peasy. Now, for someone like me, who knows what a seed phrase is and knows how to store seed phrases and likes to feel in control of their assets, this makes me a little uncomfortable. Because if I don't have my seed phrase and these cards get lost or get destroyed, all of them, my access is gone. This is using EAL6+, just like Trezor, so the encryption on these cards is very good. But for a more advanced crypto user, this might not be what you want in a crypto wallet. However, the card is waterproof, dustproof, X-ray proof, and EMP proof. So if an EMP ever happens and all of the electronics go bust, well, I'm pretty sure your Trezor's cooked, bro, but your Tangem will not be affected. So that's pretty nice to know. I don't even know who thinks of EMPs when setting up a crypto hardware wallet, but it makes sense. It's a little computer at the end of the day. Now, if you're brand new to crypto, you want to move your assets off onto something hardware, you don't want to deal with all the complexities, just want to tap it and go, this might be worth something looking at. Also, they are a lot cheaper than the other options, which a newer crypto user is going to probably want since they don't have like hundreds of thousands of dollars in crypto. Now, if you are new to crypto, or even if you're advanced in the space, you should be joining my free Telegram community. I post every single day. We're talking about current crypto events, popular and trending tokens, and the freshest crypto memes you will find on the internet. We also have a massive group chat of almost 12,000 people at this point, always trading, always helping each other out. It's completely free to join, and I don't know why you haven't joined yet, so the link is in the description below. The next wallet on our list is super unique, probably just because of the build quality alone. Like, this thing is gorgeous. And we're talking about the BitKey. BitKey is priced at $150 US. BitKey is actually made by Block, which is Jack Dorsey's company who made Square, they made Cash App, all that stuff. And the one thing about the BitKey that it's so disappointing is that it's only a Bitcoin wallet. If this was an everything crypto wallet and not just Bitcoin, this would be my daily driver. The quality alone of the BitKey is insane. This wallet is made out of quartz. Like, it's so solid. And then it's like has this metal alloy on the back as well. And oh, it's so nice. This thing is, it's gorgeous. It weighs probably half a pound, has a fingerprint scanner as well right here on it to unlock it. You can see it's green, flashing green because I already set it up. But wow, the physical quality of this wallet blows everything else I've ever felt in terms of crypto wallet out of the water completely. But it doesn't just stop there with BitKey on how they're innovating in the space, because BitKey is also removing the seed phrase complication. They don't like the 20 or 24 word seed phrase because it scares off new investors who have to go through and set this up. It was also a mobile first setup. Literally get the app, go through the setup process, tap this thing on the back, get your fingerprint going. Like, it was easy, very seamless. So the way that BitKey stores your seed phrase is that there is no seed phrase. You get 3 different private keys when you set this up. And this happens completely in the background. Like, you don't have to store anything at all. And to actually sign transactions, this is a multi-sig wallet. So 2 of the 3 private keys have to be activated in order to sign a transaction. 1 key is stored directly on your mobile device. The 2nd key is stored directly on the hardware wallet itself. And the 3rd key is stored in the BitKey servers. And you might be like, oh, that's sketchy. I don't want my private key stored in the servers. Well, they can't do anything with 1 key. They need this key, or one of these keys need to be used. And if you lose your BitKey, it's easily recoverable. If you lose your phone, they also have a recovery process. So they've really made a system where you can't lose your funds. Like, it just can't really happen. They've also done it in a very secure and interesting way, and also a very stylish way. I'll have to say that. But coming back around to the elephant in the room, this is a Bitcoin only wallet. Why? I understand that Block and Jack Dorsey, they're very like Bitcoin bulls, but like, dude, if this was for every chain, it would be the best wallet on the market. This is so sick. They've solved the private key problem. They've solved the recovery problem. They've made an elegant piece of hardware with biometric. It's mobile first. I didn't have to plug anything in. Like, everything's perfect except it's Bitcoin only. And this again goes to show you that there is no one size fits all perfect wallet, because there's gonna be a bunch of people watching this like, wow, I'm only a Bitcoin holder. I literally only hold Bitcoin. Well, damn, this one's for you. But the moment you try to get Ethereum, Solana, anything else, you gotta get a Trezor or a Decent or something else. One other cool thing that they are trying to solve is inheritance. So if you do have Bitcoin on your BitKey and you die, there is a system where you can set up a beneficiary, and then they actually transfer some new private keys over to that person. Very interesting. It seems like they're solving for a small niche of like institutional older boomer investors that only get into Bitcoin, who are scared of dying, who are scared of losing their keys, and they're doing it in a very good way. Last, but definitely not least, we have the Ledger Nano X, which is priced at 149 US dollars. The price here is Canadian because I'm in Canada and I could not figure out how to change it to US pricing. Now, Ledger does have other newer models. They have the Flex, they have the Stacks, but these products are in a different class of price point from what we've talked about here today. So I chose the Ledger Nano X because it's kind of like the flagship product from Ledger. It has that iconic flash drive design. And I have one right here. So here's a Ledger Nano X. Bang, bang. Has that steel on the outside, plastic on the inside. This thing is quite iconic. I will give them that. Definitely the most popular, the most famous hardware wallet in existence is what I'm holding right here. But here's my gripe with Ledger. In 2020, they had a data leak where their email list and their customer list got leaked on the dark web. And I was a part of that. So I still get freaking spam calls all the time on my phone, like almost every single day. And I have Ledger to blame for that. Now, I have moved my house and I don't use the email address that they leaked anymore. But yeah, they leaked my house address too. So that's annoying. They haven't had any data leak since, but personally, I am very sussed out by their Ledger Recover tool. And essentially, the idea is they take your seed phrase, they split it up into pieces, they store it on completely separate and isolated servers, and then if you ever need it, they put all the pieces back together just with your identification. As you can tell, That's kind of sketch, to be honest. I don't want anyone knowing my seed phrase at all. And I definitely don't want to pay a subscription for it. So I am definitely opting out of Recover, and I've never been a fan of this concept, and I know crypto Twitter also is not a fan of this concept. But getting into the setup and specs of the Ledger Nano X, the setup was seamless. The Nano X is using EAL5 plus encryption, so that's the same as the Decent. It's all done through a 24-word seed phrase, writing it out one by one, and then verification was done on that. I didn't have to go through every single word again, like with the Decent, but they did have me go through a bit of a questionnaire to make sure I know that I don't give anyone my seed phrase, and just a little bit of a hand-holding scenario for sure. Ledger uses Ledger Live. That's a mobile app and a desktop app as well. They do not have a browser version like Trezor does, but the Nano X does have Bluetooth. So you can sign transactions from your phone to your wallet just with Bluetooth, no wires, no desktop, making it nice and easy. The build feels a little cheaper than Trezor, definitely cheaper than BitKey, but more solid than the Decent for sure. So overall, from a super popular brand, I have low trust. I'm not going to use this anymore. I did use this in the past. That's why I have this. I also have 3 more ledgers, but trust is so important in this space, and personally, they lost my trust. Not to bash them or anything, but I'm just giving you my perspective. Now we've gone through all 5 wallets in excruciating detail. At this current moment, personally, I am using Trezor's Safe 5. The reason being, like I mentioned before, I treat my hardware wallets more like a vault. I'm not doing transactions all the time, maybe every few months. So me having to plug it in, not the end of the world. But I want to touch on Decent again, because at that low of a price point, $129 with the $10 off below, and basically at par features of a Ledger Nano X and Trezor, kind of best of both worlds. We have Bluetooth, mobile first, thumbprint activation, bypassing a PIN. That seems like the best option for someone that's getting into crypto and maybe it's their first hardware wallet. I think a Tangem comes into play if you are just looking for a side wallet. It's maybe not your main vault, but something quick that you can just access all the time, and you don't like using a Phantom or anything that's purely hot wallet. And the BitKey is definitely optimal for an older institutional type of investor, someone with a bit of wealth, a bit of money, who wants to get into Bitcoin, wants to keep it easy, add it into their inheritance, and just do it with style. BitKey really strive there. But you can find this entire breakdown of every single element that you need to know about for each of these wallets on my Telegram channel completely for free. I'm sharing this spreadsheet just to help you really dial in and make your decision. So make sure you join my Telegram and get access to that. Again, all of the official links with affiliate codes are below if you want to support the channel. And also, if you got value from today's video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to become the #1 crypto channel on YouTube. My name is Vic, and I appreciate you for watching. As always, stay safe in the trenches.